Big Bend, White Sands, and Saguaro national parks all have average highs of over 100 degrees in the summer. As a result, the best time to visit the parks along the Mexican border is actually in the middle of winter, when temperatures are usually a very pleasant 70 degrees. Unfortunately, warm weather isn't always guaranteed, and as we drove north from Big Bend, the wind picked up and the temperature dropped dramatically. The next morning, it was cold.
Good morning. It is about 7:30 in the morning, Christmas Eve. We're up early, and it is cold this morning. It's 17 degrees here, and we're going to head up to the Guadalupe Mountains. There's a four-wheel drive road there that I'm hoping to take. It is Christmas Eve, so I'm not sure how that affects the hours, but I'm going to pack the tent up and then try and warm up a little bit.
The wind from the previous night had kicked up a lot of dust into the air. As we drove north, Guadalupe Peak, the highest point in Texas, appeared through the haze. Under the cliffs of the mountain is Williams Ranch Road. The road starts in private land, so you'll need a key from the Park Visitor Center to access it. The trail follows the historic Butterfield Overland route, a stagecoach service from St. Louis to San Francisco. Using a series of relay stations, the Overland route could deliver mail and passengers along the 2,795 miles of dirt roads in less than 25 days.
Well, we didn't quite make it to the ranch, not because of the trail conditions. They're absolutely fine. They did say, just like pretty much every national park we've been in, that you need a serious four-wheel drive vehicle. It's really, really tough, and it's just kind of a rough gravel road, so it's not a problem. The problem's time. If we were going to go up to the ranch, we would not have enough time to get to Carlsbad Caverns, which is our next stop. We need to be there before 2 o'clock, which is the last tour. If we don't make it, we don't get to see it today or tomorrow, because tomorrow's Christmas Day. We'd have to wait here 2 days, which we don't particularly want to do. So we've turned around, and we're going to head back out and try and get to the caverns in time.
750 feet under the ground are the Carlsbad Caverns. The caverns are enormous. It's not possible to get a sense of scale on the camera, but the main room is the largest chamber in North America at almost 4,000 feet long and 620 feet wide. That's the area of 6 football fields. Not only that, but the cave contains impressive formations hanging down from the 225-foot tall ceiling and reaching up from the floor to meet them. From the caves, we drove north up into Lincoln National Forest. Got some Christmas lights and gifts. For Christmas Day, we decided to relax, and we picked a random tree to be our Christmas tree. That evening, the temperature dropped again. Andreas's heater quit and his leg was causing him problems, so he and his daughter left to get a hotel for the night.
It was an incredibly windy night last night. You can probably still hear it's a little windy now. So we've got quite a lot of packing up to do this morning, and then I'd say we've got around 60 to 80 miles of unpaved roads heading up towards White Sands National Park. I stayed last night when Andreas left, partly because the temperature was comfortable for us, but also because I was looking forward to getting some drone footage. The trail we're taking follows a ridge line, and there are some great views off to the left as we go, but it may be a little too windy for the drone. I'm gonna try it anyway. How about that for epic views behind me? You can see for hundreds of miles, and this trail follows this ridgeline for quite some way. And there's a bunch of these little campsites set up right on the edge of the ridge. If you're following along, if you're coming the same way as me, then it's pretty easy to find them. I think we've passed 5 or 6 so far. Now I have marked this one so that if you are a Patreon subscriber, then you can come to this exact spot. It's not really the kind of place I certainly wouldn't camp here in the winter. I've always said that when you're picking a campsite, you can usually choose between shelter and views. And usually, I like to go look at the views, but when camping, it's nice to get the shelter. But I think in the summer, this would be a fantastic spot.
At the northern edge of the Guadalupe Mountain rim, the road drops down into Pretty Bird Hills and then back up into the Sacramento Mountains, where we finally saw our first proper trees of the trip.
Well, what a trail. I loved starting down in southern New Mexico, starting on that ridge line where you could see for hundreds of miles out. Then we went down into the desert and then came back up here into the forest that you see now. Now we're airing up, we're just outside of Cloudcroft. It's getting late, sun is setting. I should say it's getting late, it's like coming up to 5 o'clock, but the sun is setting. So we're airing up. We're going to take pavement down into towards the White Sands, and we're going to try and find a campground for tonight. Elizabeth has been demanding a shower, and if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know I've got this, I think it's an awesome shower setup. Got the shower tent, the water heater, makes really, really nice showers, but it's no good when all of your water in the water tank is frozen solid. So you can see right here, it's obviously been pretty cold for flowing water to freeze like that. So airing up, I'm going to go down and try and find a nice campground with hot showers and not frozen water.
On our way down to the campground, we passed a family stuck off the side of the road. They didn't have any obvious tow point on their rear, so it was time for traction boards. I don't use them often, but when I do, they're great to have. The next morning, I had a problem of my own.
So after hundreds of miles of going off-road, the parking lot, gas station parking lot gets me.
Having switched the wheels, we met up with Andreas again and spent the afternoon in White Sands. That evening, Andreas started the long drive home, while we went west to Tucson. We're up on Reddington Road just east of Tucson, Arizona, and look at all the cacti that we have around us. There are just thousands of them, and obviously the one that stands out the most is the really tall one. I think it's the Saguaro cactus. It is surprisingly tall. I was not expecting it. You know, when you see the pictures and the videos, I don't think it does it justice. I thought they were maybe like a little taller than me, maybe up to about twice my height, you know, so maybe up to about 12 feet tall. It's quite impressive seeing them. Today we're going to head into Tucson and we're going to go out to Saguaro National Park and check out some more of them. Saguaro can grow to over 50 feet tall, but they're incredibly slow growing. In their first 10 years they grow only a few inches, and they can grow as little as 3 feet in 50 years. They're also long lasting. The cacti can live up to 200 years old, and Saguaro National Park has a lot of them, an estimated 1.8 million. Having spent the day in and around Tucson, we went back to Reddington Road and continued up into the mountains.
We finally found a spot for the night. It took us quite a long time and the sun's actually just setting. This one's okay. It's not brilliant in terms of shelter. You can tell it's quite windy. Got okay views behind me. We actually passed up one. There's one right on the top. Beautiful sight. Like you can see 360 degrees, mountains off to the north, the mountains to the south. Beautiful spot, but really, really windy. We went further down into the valley a little way, and there was one spot that was really nicely sheltered, but there was just so much trash. Like, you wouldn't believe it. It looked like someone just dumped the contents of several vehicles. You could tell someone spent a weekend shooting and drinking there. So we passed that one up as well. Ended up here. But we've got steak tonight, so I'm gonna start cooking.
The next morning, we prepared for our final day, north on the Arizona Backcountry Discovery Route. The Arizona Backcountry Discovery Route follows low desert trails before heading up to Pioneer Pass in the mountains of Tonto National Forest. As we climbed, the weather came in. snow had been beautiful but short-lived. As we peaked Pioneer Pass, the sun came out again.
Well, this is it. This is pretty much the end of the video. We just got done with the Arizona backcountry discovery route through Tonto National Forest, and we're about to head down into Globe, and then I'm pretty much done at that stage. There's not any more off-road stuff. We are going to visit a couple of national parks on the way home, so look out for some clips of those in a few seconds. I've got to thank my Patreon subscribers. Without them, this kind of stuff would not be possible. If you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. You know, you get to see more of this content, and got some guides and reviews coming up as well. Thanks for watching.